possess in totality, right?
No,
so
sorry,
if
bro.
you consider a person, so how did he push I'm going to ask you to repeat what I said, so focus. If you consider each person to be God, that means each person must possess what makes God God entirely, in entirety, in total, in totality. What it means is, whatever makes God God is his nature. Because you have a nature.
That? You said whatever makes God God. What is that? What is that? You haven't answered the question.
Nature. Do you understand what nature is?
No, you expound on that.
What is nature?
You expound on that. You're talking about your definition. You're expanding on that, not me. Don't ask me that question.
Fine. What about the word nature of God when I say nature that you misunderstand?
Why are you asking me this question? You're the one that needs to explain it.
What is nature?
I will give you another chance to explain it. What did you not understand from the word nature of God?
Expound on it. What does that mean?
What did you not understand?
It's not what we don't understand. What does he understand?
What do you understand so that we can come to a common ground? What is your understanding?
If I told you the essence of God, if I told you...
He's the one that's bringing up these words. How can I not know what it is?
If I told you the essence of God, this word essence in nature...
What does that mean?
Wait, if I told you the essence of God, essence, because this word is used in Christian terms, in Christianity. What does the word essence of God mean in Christianity?
Why do you keep asking me questions?
Because I want to know whether you speak English or not.
You're the one that's making it understanding.
Because I can speak to you in Chinese.
You're the one who's asking
that has to define these terms before we get into the conversation.
If you don't understand,
you can't just tell me a term and then tell me to agree with what you're saying.
Because if you don't understand,
because why would I agree with something that I don't agree with? Why would you then throw something at me and then expect me to agree with you?
Excellent.
What's nature? If you don't mean by nature.
Wait.
What do you mean by essence?
What do you tell us about
Allah? If you don't understand by the word what it means by nature, what it means by essence, what do you mean by persons?
What do you mean by that?
I'm explaining. What it means by being, then what you're going to have is a lesson in English language.
What?
But I assume...
Are you not using English language to communicate?
What do you mean exactly?
Are you not using English language to communicate? This guy cannot understand.
So you don't know either?
Exactly.
Oh, I'm serious. Come on, man.
Do not let him get away from explaining himself.
Yeah, I'm not.
He needs to tell us what nature is.
He thinks he can jump over it, and then that's what I'm saying.
We are not moving until you tell us what nature and essence is.
You understand the English language.
Why are you telling me you're assuming?
Exactly.
Do you not understand?
Define the terms that you're throwing out. What is the nature? What is the essence? What is the entirety of that?
What?
That you just explained. So that the audience can understand.
Well done. What about the word nature that you don't understand? Tell me.
The whole thing. The whole thing. The whole thing. We will entertain you. The whole thing.
Can someone speak to him in Sudanese? Go on. I'll speak to you in
what?
So now,
if you laugh, that's racist, bro.
If you no, Sudanese is another beautiful language.
Is he Sudanese?
But we are not speaking Sudanese.
Is he Sudanese? Are you Sudanese?
I'm not Sudanese.
So why are you assuming that he's Sudanese?
I'm not Sudanese.
Wait, why is he assuming he's Sudanese?
Because he's not speaking English.
Why are you speaking in English? So he's Sudanese now?
Are you lying to everyone and saying I'm not speaking in English? I asked you to define the term.
Man, this is bad, bro.
Do you understand what nature is in English language?
Pardon?
The word nature in English language.
I don't understand the way that you're asking it. So I'm asking you to.
In the English language, what does it mean?
Pardon?
In the English language.
You explain,
Pardon?
my friend.
He's trying to run away from English
The
language.
definition. I should look it up.
Oh, you don't know?
You don't know? No, not the way. Did you hear what I said? I do not understand
so do you know?
the way that you are.
So do you know? No, don't help him. Don't help him.
No.
Don't help him.
No.
He needs to explain it.
No, wait. Let's just wait. Wait. Pause. Yeah. Pause for a second. If I asked you a question,
explain what nature is. Why are you gripping it? What are you doing? Why are you doing that, bro? Calm down, G.
Let go.
He's angry. Why are you getting angry?
Wait, who? Is this yours?
Yeah.
Alright, so do it.
I don't want this kind of theatrics, right? Now,
Why are you getting angry
so
like
now,
that?
I'm not, I don't like theatrics.
Can you explain?
Reaction so people can hear.
So now, here is what we were discussing. We were discussing from the very beginning.
We were waiting for you to give us a definition of
I don't
nature.
want your mama jumbo. Listen.
We were waiting for you to give us a
So you're not going to
definition of
explain?
nature.
So you're not going to explain?
Ladies and gentlemen, hang on, ladies and gentlemen.
It's because he's in the corner.
This gentleman asked an important question, which I came into.
But we asked a question first.
That's what I'm saying. It's like he wants to ignore the question and then talk.
You asked. I hope you're listening to understand. This gentleman asked.
Just hold him to that. I want to understand.
If God said, I'm going to my God, what would you understand by it? I'm going to my God.
Hey, is he answering? Is he answering any questions?
He hasn't answered none of my questions.
Has he said anything about nature?
He hasn't said nothing about nature, essence, all the entirety of God. He's just been talking nonsense.
So we're gonna wait here. We're gonna wait here.
What do you, bro? He tried to trick me, bro. Because if this man didn't call it out, I wouldn't have known.
Don't get distracted with him. We're gonna wait here.
Yeah, man, me out.
We're waiting here until they tell us exactly what. He's gonna tell us exactly what
He
he's
thinks he can just waffle and just say it.
My God is nonsense.
When he's done, let's clap.
Multiple gods. And that's why we asked him, do you believe in Trinity there are multiple gods? He says no. There's only one God.
You're waffling now.
Right? He says there's only one God. So I asked, okay, what about the individual persons within the Trinity? Are they
I don't like talking to this guy.
God individually? What did you say?
Well done, man. Well
What
done.
did you say?
Now,
Wait.
answer our question.
Wait, hold on. He just changed his question. This guy tried to lie.
Question.
You just lied to my face. He tried to tell me, he tried to say that I said all of them are different gods individually. This guy just lied to my face.
You said that.
I never said that. Well, you never even asked me that.
What did I say?
You said individually. You just added that word there. You never said individually. You lied. You lied to my face. You lied.
You said individual.
He never said individually.
You said three individual
Say what
gods.
law he said individual. Say what law he said individual. Say what law he said individual. Back your brethren.
Right, relax.
Back your guy.
So relax.
He's
He's not looking. Because you lied.
Good catch.
You lied. You tried to lie. You tried to lie. Oh my gosh.
So what did
Look at this devil. We're rebuking the name of Jesus.
You said three individual gods.
What did I say?
You said three individual
You said
gods.
3 individual gods. When did you tell me? When did you first say that to me?
What did I say exactly?
You never said that. You never asked me.
Did you not use the word three individual gods?
Why is it you two?
This guy's disingenuous. Like, what's going on?
You never asked me whether all the triune God is individual gods. You never asked me that.
What did I
You
ask?
never asked me that.
What did I ask?
You asked me if all the gods were entirely God. That's what you asked me.
Let me tell you.
That's like,
That's what you asked.
say wallahi. Say wallahi. Say wallahi. Say wallahi. You never said that.
If you have
Wallahi, you never said that.
if you have a shortage of memory,
I'm not old like you. I don't have short of
if I have
memory.
a short of memory,
You forgot what you said.
in the cameras recorded by Christians and Muslims. Right. So now,
Anyway, he's now going
Hold them
to
back and say wallahi then.
my question to you is very clear.
No, we're not answering any question.
That's what I'm
Each
saying.
person,
Until he knows, until he tells us what person and essence and nature is. Until he tells
fullness
us.
of divinity. Each person. Is each person within the Trinity fully God?
Has he said nature?
I'm waiting, Christian.
Has he said
I'm waiting for the explanation, bro.
We're waiting for that.
Trinity, fully God.
What? Did he not call me in? This guy asked for this. He called me in. He looked out to me and he called me in.
Say wallahi. Say wallahi. Say wallahi.
He called me in.
Bro, say wallahi.
This guy likes to fight on his own. Yeah,
Come on, man.
Is each person,
Why are you still asking me questions instead of explaining what you're saying, bro?
that's your belief, you should know.
Why are you not letting him? Why are you not letting him explain?
The same question.
You
The
should
same
know the
question.
answer.
Why are you not getting him to
tell us
explain?
what nature is, what person is, what essence is? That is what we've asked.
By the way, I have
So you need to answer that question.
request to my Muslim brothers. No Muslim brother speaks. Let me speak on your behalf. Jazakumullah khairan. Is each person fully God in Trinity?
Ask him what person is. He hasn't told us what person is, essence, nature. He needs to tell us. Remember, he asked us about
For us to have a
entirety of
common
God.
ground,
Okay.
you need to define these terms that you're saying. You need to define nature, person, essence. That's what you need to define.
Well done.
The word person is exactly how you describe in your literature. I don't make anything, I don't add anything, I don't take away anything. Exactly how you define it. So if I ask you by your terms,
Up to how you
person,
define. No, it's
Then
been
he,
fair.
then he has no gripe.
No, So how would you pose that to him? How would you? Okay. How would you pose that to him?
If he's saying that we should define it the way Christians define it, you have no gripe.
I am saying
You have no issue then.
the way
You
you
can't.
define person
Exactly.
is each
You can have no
person
issue.
God.
You better define
Because you're
person
using our
and nature and
doctrine
essence
to
for
try
us.
and debunk our doctrine.
Answer the question.
What?
Is each person within the Trinity fully God?
Are we using are you using the Christian lens? Are we using the Christian view? Are we using the Christian terms?
Yeah. We should hold him to his definition.
Yeah, should we hold it?
I don't know what definition.
So, as you understand by the word person,
No, I want you to define it from your term, your understanding.
if you don't understand what person is in your religion, go and learn.
I know what my definition.
Good, you know.
I want you to define your
I don't need
definition,
to define
so
it,
we
you
can
know it
come.
already.
Oh, so you don't need to talk to me.
Now, since
You don't need to
know a
define
person
nothing. You
as
cannot say
belief,
nothing. You can just talk.
My question is, within your belief that
guys
you
are
hold
waffler,
so
man.
dearly, is each person defined by your belief?
Yeah.
Fully God.
Oh yeah. They will say yeah.
Now,
Let's see. Let's see. Go ahead.
can you define to us
Go ahead, answer.
where we started from?
Is each person fully
where
God?
you said entirety of God? You
Is each
said that
person fully God? I've asked 3 times. Each is person fully God. 4 times. And finally,
Nature, essence, person.
so now here we go. Christians are unwilling to talk about their beliefs.
Are you done? Are you done?
You're running away now. Well done. Well
He's
done.
done so well for Allah. He's done so well
You
for Allah.
don't want to post that clip because this guy got caught lying, man.
Wow. Wow.
Bro, you need to stop backing guys you don't. Bro, you need to stop backing guys that don't know
Let's give a
like that.
recap. You need to give a recap. You need to give a recap.
So guys, what we just witnessed here today is a lying, manipulator, scheming man try to get me. So now, if it wasn't for my brothers in Christ, I would have been lost in the sauce. But listen, this guy tried to tell me, he tried to use broad terms to try to catch me in a trap. That's what we witnessed here today. But we caught him back. So we tried to get him to define the terms that he was using. And instead of defining the terms that he was using, he was trying to run away and ask me more questions. But we held him.
Whoa, was he treating you like you were his teacher?
Like I was some sort of student.
Come on, man. What's going
Listen,
on?
mate, at the end of the day, if we're coming here to learn, if we're coming here to conversate, we have to define things. We have to talk with clarity.
Yes.
Because if we do not talk with clarity, we're jumping into blind faith and blind understanding. Because at the end of the day, we want to come here to have an understanding of who God truly is, and that is Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Well done.
God bless you guys.
Well
And
done.
also,
Amen.
I see you come down here on a frequent basis to debate people.
Yes.
What's your main message to those you disagree with?
My main message is this, sir.
Define terms.
Yeah. Define terms. Understand what you're actually talking about before you actually say something. Because at the end of the day, you could be saying something that you think is the right understanding, but when you actually come to the actual understanding and definition of that word, it's completely contradictory to what your understanding is. So make sure you understand what you're talking about before you talk. Because now, if people on the internet see what you're talking about, they're going to clown you because you look stupid. So come here with knowledge, come here with understanding. And if you don't know something, be humble and say you don't know. Simple as that. God bless you guys. May God bless everybody that watch here. May God bless my brothers in Christ. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. My name is Wisdom Wowo. It's nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Take care, man. Hey.
Well done, man. Well done, man. Well done. Very well done. Very well done.
Thank you. I don't know, man. What were the cocoa? What were the cocoa? That's what I said.
Thank you, bro.
Give me a nickname.
So when you're something is just the truth, you better go find out exactly what you mean and express it. That's what we're saying. I don't know if we're having a full.
I just want to know, what does essence or nature mean to you guys? That's what I want to know.
But the thing is, when I'll answer you as a genuine answer to your question. But when Mansur was asking us that, just so that you understand. When Mansur was asking us that, if he doesn't have an understanding of what essence and nature is, he has to accept whatever answer we give him. He can't refute that. Unless he had something else which he would say, no, this is what true essence and personhood and nature is, and then we can have a discussion. We can go from there. But if he's saying he doesn't know or he's not telling us, and in fact it's the Christian understanding, then there's nothing he will be able to do with that, would he? He would just have to accept it. Do you get that?
That's Mansur, right? I'm just asking.
What's nature and essence?
What is nature and what is essence?
But I think then, to be honest with you, you're asking on the back of that debate.
No.
But do you know why? Because
I know what the words mean. I know to me, I know what the words mean.
Oh, so what do they mean to you?
No. Answer my question.
No, this is why. Can I interject? Let me stand on this, sir. The reason why I want to interject, and I want to be fair here. Mansur brought up the point about essence. It was a Muslim.
Why do you guys keep bringing Mansur in this, man?
Because it's the reason why you're asking the question.
No, I'm asking for myself.
Okay,
so if you're asking for your,
keep bringing me Mansur.
Okay, if you're asking for yourself,
I'm not talking about Mansur. You keep bringing Mansur.
If you're asking for yourself, you have no problem with saying what you think it is first, right?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Listen to me.
No, is that fair? No, wait.
That's a fair
Excuse me?
It's not fair.
That's not fair. Then in that case, I don't think you're not trying to learn anything.
He's trying to get the answer from you to give it to Mansur.
Exactly, you're not trying to learn from me.
Why?
Because if you're saying that you want to understand something, and you said that you've already admitted you have an understanding of what.
Mansur.
So that's what I'm asking you. What is that?
Understanding so that
Bring forth. And we will bring forth.
How can you take a
Because I
question
can
from someone
because I can
and then answer it with a question and say it's fair?
No, but the question
because
was...
we're trying to define terms, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys are very difficult, man.
No, it's easy.
You are very difficult.
I'll be honest with you.
Wallahi,
No, I'll be honest with you, right?
That's up to
I
you,
just
bro.
asked you a simple question. You don't want to answer me. Just tell me.
But that's exactly what Mansur just did.
That was Mansur was trying to
Mansur
do.
just did that.
Why do you keep bringing Mansur in?
Because that's what just happened.
Guys, nice to meet you.
You're not.
Nice to meet you, man.
Wait.
Nah, don't go, bro.
Say. No, I'm not
seriously.
having a conversation on behalf of someone else. I'm not going to do that.
That's where
We're having it on us.
That's where his question comes
No,
from.
that's
though.
not. No, but no. I remember. I asked you first. Wait, bro. Wait. Did I not? Wait.
You can't jump in.
I asked
I
you.
asked you a simple question. We're having a conversation. You're bringing Mansur into it.
What did I say first?
Wallahi, that's bad. Please.
Come on, my friend.
What did I say to you first? But what did I?
I just want to. I want to converse with you.
So if you're saying
and
normally,
you're bringing me Mansur,
Bro.
Ibn Kathir, Walid, Mohammed, Abdul Hamid. What's going on?
you said you're coming to me normally, yes?
Do you not want to have a conversation or not?
So a
You want to have
conversation.
a conversation?
Yes.
You want to have a conversation?
Yes.
Then we should have it like how we should normally have it with those.
And
But you can't look. I'm asking you. When you ask me a question, specifically you, when you ask me a question, I answer it to what I think is fit, right? I don't answer you with a question.
Exactly.
No, I'm asking you to explain yourself.
What do you understand?
If you're saying that you're normally having a conversation,
I know what he means.
What do you
ask me that?
so then in that case, there's no problem with.
Why are you waiting for me to answer first?
Wait, just let me. Just,
I'm asking
bro,
first.
you're gonna listen. Are you gonna listen?
Go on.
If you're saying that you're having a normal conversation with me, and you ask me a question, and you're saying that you understand what these things mean, there's nothing that stops me, if we're having a normal conversation, bro, me saying, oh, when you ask that, what do you think it means?
Yeah, it's a fair.
I think that's a problem, bro. I think that's a normal convo.
And the fact that you're running away from that, to me indicates that you don't actually want to exchange information.
No, there's no such thing as running away. I'm not running away.
Okay, so then tell me.
Listen, there's no point me asking you a question and you answer me with a question like
That happens all the time. There's no rules on that.
Under the table.
Can I respond to that?
That's exactly what it is. We're playing cards under the table.
Can I respond
So every
to that?
time you ask me something, I'm going to ask you.
So what was the question?
Can I respond to that?
He was asking for what's the difference between essence and nature, right?
Yeah.
I asked him first.
You asked me first.
No, wait. I asked him first.
You asked everybody.
He brought Mansur in. Mansur left. He brought Mansur in. I just said to him, listen, I just want to understand from your point of view what is nature and what is essence.
Can I say this
He
thing?
came in, I asked him the same question, right? And all I get back is the same question.
Can I respond to you?
Let's cool it.
Can I respond to you?
You know what? I'm like that.
Let me respond to you, yeah? Right? And you're going to be upset with what I'm about to say.
No, I'm not.
When you say the name Mansur, yeah?
You want to use that one?
Oh, no,
Same one.
Oh, no.
Same one.
Your question, right?
Some water.
Your question
You want to sky my cold water?
Yeah, go on.
about nature and essence, right?
Yeah.
It was what was being discussed in the debate that just happened, right? Now,
That's assumptions.
these are the guys that were in the debate.
Oh, that's what was discussed in the debate just before.
Guys,
That's context, bro.
Stop bringing Mansur into it.
No, but
I'm
you
telling
need to-
you know why I'm saying that? You know why I'm saying that? You know why I asked that question? You know why I asked that question? Because every Christian person I speak to bring nature and essence into the Trinity. So I wanted to understand where they're coming from, and you're bringing Mansur to me.
No, okay.
Is that not assumption?
No, I hear what I'm
Let's see what he's saying.
Thank you. Hear what I'm saying, please.
Go on.
So, in their debate, Mansur was using terms, right? But he wasn't able to give an explanation of those terms, right? So sometimes what we say is that, oh, can you clarify what you mean, please? I don't know what you mean by nature. I don't know what you mean by essence. Can you tell me what you mean? Oh, God is eternal. God knows all things. God is everlasting. Like, give me an explanation of his attributes or something that I know that we're on the same page. Right? Oh, I've actually kind of asked you a question a little bit as well. Now, God is a spirit, right? So there might be disagreements there with Muslims and Christians. But for me to understand those disagreements, I need to hear, what do you mean by nature? What do you mean by essence? What do you mean by persons? Because I could just be talking and not knowing if you're receiving what I'm saying because we're not even understanding what these words mean or have the same understanding of when it's applied to God, right? So it's my responsibility, right, as the person who's asking the question to know exactly what I'm asking, right? Now, if I say I don't know what essence is, I don't know what nature is, please explain it to me, then I'll be charitable and say, okay, this is my explanation. Instead, what he was doing, he was then attacking their English to kind of conceal his understanding of those words. Or maybe even lack of understanding. That's problematic, right? Now you've come to us, right? And you asked us the same question. And now I'm saying to you, okay, please share with us what you understand so I can know where you're coming from.
Or if we don't understand at all.
Exactly. That way, there is a mutual respect between each other.
Exactly.
No one is playing cards.
We're trying to understand exactly where in other words, when you're asking us this question, we're trying to understand exactly where you're coming from. Are you coming from a place where, let me finish, bro. Are you coming from a place where you lack complete understanding and that you want to hear an answer from us? Or is it that you actually have an understanding and you want to understand our understanding and then come together? But if you're saying it's the second version, you need to explain to us what is this understanding that you have, because that's what we were questioning with Mansur. We were asking him to clarify, and the guy, he didn't want to do that.
Clarify.
No, but we're asking you to clarify.
Please clarify.
We're asking you to clarify. We're asking you to clarify. Nah, you didn't listen to us.
I listened to you, right?
I'm asking you to clarify. Please clarify. Are you going to clarify?
Did I listen to you?
Are you going to clarify?
Here we go.
Okay.
Are you going to clarify?
Okay.
I listened to you quietly.
Yeah, are you going to clarify? You've been speaking this whole time.
I'm not speaking.
All right, say your piece. I'm listening.
I've let you speak.
Fair play.
All I'm saying to you right now is, can you not film me, please, yeah? Please, thank you. All I was saying to you is, you guys came on the backboard of an assumption.
Why?
Because...
Were you in that conversation? Were you watching that conversation?
I came at the end.
Excuse me?
I came at the end.
Did you not speak to me during that conversation and speak to him during that conversation? Don't do that. No, don't do that. I can't do this. You were there. You were speaking to him.
Let me hear you out. Okay, go ahead. I'll hear you out.
I wasn't there from the beginning either. But I saw you speak to me and him.
I came after.
Yeah, but you still spoke to us during this conversation. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
It does not.
It adds context.
Go on. Let's hear him out.
Listen. You're coming off the backboard, yeah, of Mansur having a conversation with you, right? I've clarified it to you. I think what these words mean to me.
So prove it by telling us.
Can I finish, please? Can I finish?
Alright, sorry.
So, I've asked you because I've seen a lot of Christians bring into the Trinity nature and essence and person. So I wanted to understand where you're coming from. So I asked you the question, and then you've answered me with the same question back. You see where I'm coming from? So I'm clarifying to you. I don't care what you've had with Mansur. I've just asked for knowledge. Okay. Just for knowledge. Okay. I wanted to see where you're coming from, and it's the whole thing of no, you tell us. It's not I just wanted to understand. That's all. Yeah. I just wanted to understand where you're coming from. That's all. Nothing else.
I hear that.
It's not hard for you to answer me. I don't mind answering. I can answer.
So why didn't you when we asked?
What I'm saying to you is,
why didn't you when we asked? No. Listen.
Why didn't you when I asked?
Because of the context of what the discussion we just had.
Where you're coming from?
Go
back to
all right, let me ask you this then.
Let
me ask you this. Was Mansur right then?
Of what?
To not give an explanation or explanation?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't speak.
Then you can't challenge us.
You can't challenge us.
How am I?
If Mansur wasn't right, we are.
I asked you for knowledge, and you're telling me I'm challenging you.
No, you're missing the point.
No,
If you
challenging
can't-
us.
We're in this conversation, guys.
Right now, we're being like Mansur, in a sense, right? We're not giving you an explanation.
That's what I was saying.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay, fair
so
enough.
I'm saying to you, if you're critical,
Describe this for me. What do you think a person?
Anyway, I'm done. I'm gonna walk around. I'm done.
Nice
Take
to
it
meet
easy,
you,
yeah?
man.
Good to see you, yeah?
They're friendly to me, right?
Yeah.
So, what do you think a person is?
Thank you.
What do you believe a person is? That's from what you just understand.
I'll put it for simple terms. A person would be like a human being. Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, he'll give you the answer. Okay.
No problem, man.
Yeah, we're just trying to be charitable as all. Yeah.
Me too, bro.
Yeah. So
Me too.
when we asked you back, or what do you mean by that, and you're closing off, it comes across as if it's just another man's
Right,
soul.
because you're doing the exact same thing that Mansur's doing.
No, but do you see why? Do you understand when you asked us that question?
I understand that totally what
Yeah.
you're
So
saying.
if we're saying,
but you're doing exactly what he's doing.
No, because if we
You
were
are.
to distinguish that you were different to Mansur, we expected you to say, well, I'm asking you, but this is what I think it means to me. You never said that throughout this whole conversation that we had.
I'm not in a
And you had-
ruler. I'm not in a ruler for you to compare me to Mansur.
Go on, me and you're chatting now. Yeah. So what do you think a person?
I think it's just a normal person, any human being.
Yeah, you can't describe person with person, bro. So like, what terms would
A
you?
human being.
So would you describe a rock as a person?
No,
Why?
because it's not a person. A person is being given to a person who is a human being of a humankind like us, like human beings.
Unc! How you doing, man? How you doing? Yeah, nice to meet you. Like, this guy is a mischievous guy, you know.
Nice,
Okay.
man. Good.
Okay,
Just listening.
Swag, storm. Aye, drip.
This guy to the ladies, look at.
This guy, he's got like 6 baby mums, sir. Arabic.
Not Islamic, Arabic.
So
Arabic standpoint.
the problem
because
with that
everything
is-
has a name, but I want to know what person means now. You got to tell me what person means.
I'll tell you from what I mean. What I know from what a person is, right? What a person is a being that has a rational mind and a nature. So
A being that has
not
a-
nature. That's the wrong word.
Yeah.
A being that has a rational mind and can make decisions on
What
its
being?
own. So it could be a being. So you would say that.
How many
But
beings
that's
are in
pertaining.
this
That's
earth?
pertaining. When you say person, right? I mean, there's obviously one mankind. So there's one being, humanity, right? When I say person, you would predict. What's it called? You would predicate that to a human, right? But you would also predicate that to God too, because God is a person, correct?
Can be referred to, but,
So
but
why is God a person?
I don't see God as a person.
God's a person, right?
No, I don't see God as a person. Personally.
You see, that's when we differ.
Because I'll tell you why.
Go on, tell me.
Because he does not he does not have the same nature as us.
Does he have a mind?
Wait, I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
You don't think Allah has a
No,
mind?
because if you know what God looks like, you'd probably know what he is.
No, he doesn't have. Okay, see, this is where we differ. Because you believe that God isn't spirit.
I don't know what God is. This is what I'm saying to you.
We as Christians, we believe God is spirit.
That's you.
That's yeah.
I agree.
So,
But me personally, I don't know what God is. Because you know why? In our belief, he's unlike anything
Right.
we've seen or known.
So
I can't tell if he's got a mind, brain, anything. I don't.
he's got a mind, because if he didn't have a mind, how would he
We're relating to that as humans. That's why you're saying that. Think of it honestly. Because look.
Because I know Islamically you can't compare humanity to God. I know that. But here in Christianity we believe that God can enter his creation. Like I said, that's what separates us, right?
No, God can do anything. That's a fact.
God can do anything. So
He can do anything.
God can enter creation if he will.
If he wanted to.
Exactly.
I agree with you.
Exactly. So where we differ is, we differ that God for what a person is a mind that has rationality, a mind that can think, do, etc. You know what I mean? So
I'm not denying that God can think.
So
of things like that,
would you say a lion has a mind?
Yeah, it thinks.
Would you predicate that to the word person?
No.
Why?
No.
Why?
Because it's not a human being.
Exactly. So you think a human being is a
the
person?
word person was made for a human being.
So would you call God a person?
No. Because
Why?
it's not like a human being.
You see, that's where we
see?
differ.
No, but
because
see,
personhood should not pertain to a being, to a race or
It
humanity.
should.
No,
That's
because
what was the word?
we're talking about mind
what's the word
here.
made for? That word person when it first came and the person came out with it.
A mind of rationality.
Okay, when you say a rational being, when you say a rational being,
man that can,
what is a being that you're talking
Could be
about?
anything, anything that thinks.
Because the lion can't be a person.
So
it's a being.
Yeah. So
it's a being, but it can't be a person. So why can't you refer to it as a person?
So the reason why we don't refer it to a person because a person has essence.
I see this.
So now let me explain to you what essence is. Let me explain to you what essence is then, bro. Or my what do you think of essence?
No, go answer. I'll listen to you.
All right,
Tell me what essence is.
So my view of what essence is something that makes a thing a thing. So properties that make a thing a thing. So for example, the essence of God. What is the things that make a God
I'll
God?
tell you what the essence is.
So
I'll tell you what essence is.
Go on.
It's just the unchanged attributes that is truly to its core and it's unlike other.
That will refer, and then so for example you use that to understand what that thing is, correct? So for example, a chair. What's the essence of a chair? It's got four legs. Come on.
No essence to a chair. I'll tell you why.
Tell me.
The essence, the word essence, you only use it for something that has attributes that can, unlike any other. I'll tell you why. The bench, it's not a chair, but it's like a chair. It doesn't.
So what's the essence of that chair?
I can put a board on a wall and it become a chair. That's not the point. The point is, what is the difference between that essence that you're talking about and nature?
So nature and essence is quite similar.
No.
Quite similar.
No,
so
they're not.
Why they're not similar? Go on.
They're not similar.
I want you to give me your definition.
Okay.
Then.
So when you're talking about someone's nature or something's nature, is actually an inherent characteristics or tendencies of something or someone.
Wait, is this the definition of nature?
Yes.
So what's the definition of essence?
The definition of essence is the unchanged attributes.
You just said the same thing twice,
No, it's not. It's two different things.
Attributes, characteristics. What's the difference?
Big difference.
What's the difference between
Big
characteristics
difference.
and attributes?
Big difference. Characteristics can happen to a being of what their nature is or what they do. So I know the lion cannot live with humans because he'll eat humans because it's in his nature to go eat anything.
That didn't explain characteristics and attributes, mostly. Look, when I say characteristics and attributes,
I didn't say
what do you mean by that? What do you mean by characteristics, attributes?
Okay.
So we can go with your understanding.
Okay, wait. Characteristics, yeah? So for instance, a lion to a human, all right? The character of a lion is to be the boss, the king, or the leader of where he is, right? And has his own followers, which is the lionesses, and hunts as he wishes and dictate the land that he's in and eats anything in front of him that's living. That's the characteristics of a lion. Now, the attributes of a lion is he's brave, he's strong, he's a leader. See the difference? You see the difference now?
You know why you kind of said the same thing? Remember, you said that it's a king, and it's the king. You already said that it's a king.
No, what I mean by a king
is a leader.
No, what I'm saying is...
That's an attribute.
No, I'm talking about the territory.
Yeah, so you're talking about the habitat.
Yeah, so that's his character. His character is to take over the territory he's in. He dictates it.
That's what a lion does, right?
Okay, so that's a lion.
So that's an action now. That's not.
That's characteristics of a lion.
Let me explain what my.
Wait. That's his characteristics now, right? Now his attributes are brave, strong, leader, and fearless.
I agree those are attributes, yeah.
Attributes.
I agree those are attributes.
What's the difference between what I've said here and what I've said in his nature?
So, I don't agree with your characteristic definition, bro. Why? Because characteristic is pertaining to what the actual thing is. We're talking about a subject. The subject is the lion, right? Characteristics is what the lion possesses to make it a lion. That's my definition of what a characteristic is. You describe the habitat, right? And what the lion does in the habitat.
In my point of view, but it's exactly what you're saying right now.
We differ. Should I tell you where we differ?
Go on.
I'm not talking about his habitat or what he does. I'm talking about a characteristic. A characteristic of a lion is got sharp teeth. A characteristic of a lion is got a long nose or something like that. He's got tail. It's hairy.
That's not what I said.
That's characteristics. That is what characteristics is.
Characteristics is...
It's something that describes what the lion is.
See, in other words, his characteristics...
characteristics?
It's his
Stop smoking this thing, it's frying your brain.
His nature. So, in his nature is to command and dictate the territory. That's characteristics.
I don't agree, bro.
How? Because that's what every lion does. That's its character.
That's
its character.
That's the actions that pertain to a lion.
Actions, no. It's characteristics. It's something he's known for.
Yeah, okay.
It's something he's known for. And when he becomes and takes over the territory, he has his lionesses.
Yeah.
That's his character. So he leads. You see where I'm coming from?
I see what you're saying, bro.
Anything on this land because he believes this land is all his. That's his character. So his character is a dictatorship.
I feel that.
You see what I'm saying? But his attributes
is what he possesses.
Exactly. He's brave. He's fearless. He's strong. Leader. See where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Now, what I'm saying to you is, I come off the back of certain things. Like, this is why I've asked this question, because I want to know your guys' understanding of what the two words mean. Because it's been used together all the time. But they mean two different things.
They do mean, like I said, it's a bit similar, but they differ in some things.
I'll tell you what it is. They correlate.
Okay, you can say that too.
That's the best word for them. Honestly, if you look at it, honestly,
say that,
they correlate.
I agree.
Because they go with each other.
I agree.
They mean two different things. That's why we use nature and essence together, because they correlate.
I agree.
See what I agree. So what I'm saying to you is, this is the question. I really wanted to ask that question.
So essence, what I know about,
what do you think is the essence is, and what do you think the nature is? So I know your point of view of your Trinity when you're talking about it all the time. That's all I wanted to know. These guys, they went full on defensive. I'm telling them, bro, why are you bringing Mansur?
Because of Mansur, G. You gotta blame him. He's the culprit. Look, he's the culprit.
Mansur had his point of view, or the way he speaks, his approach. It's understandable.
But the reason why it's not understandable, because we ask him to define what he's saying. Because, like, for example, bro, how am I gonna come to you and ask you a broad question, and then expect you to answer that broad question for you to then fall into a trap? That's what he's trying to do. Mansur's trying to trap me, bro.
Okay, hold on.
That's what you're trying to do.
Hold on. If someone tried to do that to you, why can't you not explain your point of view after you've defined it to the person?
The issue, because this is the problem. This is the issue, right? Oh, wait, are you talking about them or are you talking about me?
No, I'm talking about Mansur. You just said Mansur.
Mansur and me.
So what I'm saying is, even if he tried to trap you, you already have your belief. You know what your belief is.
Yeah. I know my belief.
If you answered these questions that he's talking about, how you doing? You right? Good to see you, man. So, even if he wanted to trap you or not, there's nothing to fear from.
No. I never said I'm feared.
See what I'm coming from?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I should put my thing forward, right?
Yeah.
But he's challenging me. He's challenging me though. So what he has to do is he has to bring forth what he's talking about. He has to lay the foundation down for us to proceed in that conversation. I was willing to have a conversation with him, bro.
I think it should have been just you and him.
Yeah, but the issue was
because
this.
The other person, when he...
but he brought... Mansur's the one that brought him in, bro. No, I didn't bring in nobody. He brought him in, though.
But you know him. He never, even if he's
I know him, of course.
He jumps in, really.
Okay, but that happens with Mansur too, though. So you know what I mean? You got to keep it...
But you were having a conversation with him.
Yes,
so we can
but he brought my man into the conversation with us. That's what he did. So then when the guy was cooking him, he wasn't trying to chat to me. He wasn't trying to chat to him no more. He was only trying to chat to me. You know what I mean? But it was all of us that was having a conversation. He invited him into the convo.
If we're going to have a conversation, be honest with me, if we're going to have a conversation and we're going to stop at every word because you have a meaning to the word and I have a meaning to the word.
But when we're talking about God is complex, you know what I mean?
No, but it had one meaning.
No, but I get what you're saying.
Essence means one thing.
But
nature means one thing. No matter what you say that's the meaning of it. You can't run away from it.
Yeah. But
that's why I answered it to you.
That's why me and you can have a conversation all day. Me and you can talk for 24 hours of the day, bro. But people like Mansur, he sets traps in what he's talking when he's talking.
I'm never scared.
That doesn't make it. I'm not telling you that makes you scared. But what happens is
you're worried about
the issue
of what he's trying to say.
What the issue is what he's trying to do is he's trying to make me say something that would then backfire on me, and then he was going to try to call me out for that. Do you get what I'm saying, bro? So let's say that's disingenuous, first of all. If me and you are trying to have a conversation and come to understanding,
I would answer it.
You answer it, exactly, because you want to see the conclusion, correct?
Of course.
Exactly. But when I'm having a conversation with Mansur, he thinks that I should only be talking to him and I should only be answering his questions. When it's a conversation, bro. You get what I'm saying, bro.
I get you. I'm not
because it's a conversation.
I'm not saying I don't get you. I understand.
Yeah.
But in my point of view, me personally,
you answer nothing.
This is why I didn't answer them because they already had premeditated thought about something else. I don't care what's happened with Mansur. I'm just saying to you, I want to understand your point of view of Christianity. Just tell me what it means. What do you think it means? And it's like, no, you tell me what you mean. You tell me what you mean.
You have to allow them though, man.
What the hell?
Nah, I feel you, I feel
I'm just saying to you, why do you keep bringing Mansur in?
I feel you, I feel
me
you.
and you are having a conversation. I understand what Mansur said. I understand the conversation you had with him. But what's that got to do with me? I'm having a conversation for myself.
Different person,
I've just come to answer.
What do you think of our conversation?
I think you could have had a better conversation with him.
I wish I did. I wish I did, you know what I mean? But